Hello, hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. I'm Audrey, former paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. The cases I cover are wild, topics may be triggering, viewer and listener discretion is advised. People mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. On December 27, 1991, 4-year-old Amanda Nikki Campbell disappeared from Salisbury Drive in Fairfield, California. She came into the world on May 7th of 1987 with blonde hair, blue eyes, and the cutest dimples. Amanda and her brother Matthew, who was 1 year older than her, were riding their bikes to a friend's house in their neighborhood, just a couple blocks away. Nikki was the only girl in her family of boys. In 1991, they were 5, 15, and 20. Between 4:30 and 5, Nikki decided to leave her friend's house without her brother. She intended to visit another friend who lived around the corner. Her brother returned home without Nikki around 5:30 p.m. to their home. Nikki's mom, Anne, came home from work and asked Matthew where his sister was, and he said that she was at her friend's house. By 7 p.m., they were knocking on doors and looking for Nikki, calling her name. The police were called at 8 p.m. Nikki's bike was found on some grass a couple of blocks away from her home on Norwalk Place. The Fairfield Police Department were looking for a 3 feet 7 inches tall girl weighing about 60 pounds. She was wearing Santa Claus earrings, had a little rash on her mouth at the time. She had on a pink nylon jacket, purple corduroy pants, a dark purple short-sleeved shirt, and pink and white tennis shoes. When I first read that she was wearing purple corduroy pants, I thought that my mind was playing tricks on me. And after triple dog checking my information, Amber Schwartz Garcia was also wearing purple corduroy pants when she went missing. But this was also the late 80s, early 90s. I also had a pair of corduroy pants. Purple, I'm not so sure. And how does one go missing? I've always thought that this was a weird phrase, because normally people, especially children, don't just go missing. Something happens to them or they are taken. And dogs tracked her scent from Larmont Drive to Oliver Road, through a nearby McDonald's, through on Travis Boulevard, heading west on the 80 freeway. On December 30th of 1991, Timothy Bittner called the hotline and offered his help to search for Amanda Nikki Campbell. He also had been writing letters to a 12-year-old girl named Sheila Crossgrove, who lived 0.4 miles away from Nikki. Timothy said that the mother of this girl thanked him for the relationship with her young daughter, as the family was in the middle of a divorce. He said, and I quote, "Her mother wrote to me and thanked me because the girl needs a man in her life," end quote. About a week after Nikki vanished, authorities found Timothy Bittner climbing through some bushes near Nikki's home, and dogs tracked her scent to his car. As I've mentioned before, bloodhounds are not 100% admissible in court, just like lie detectors, but they are a tool investigators use. In December of 1992, the Fairfield police named Timothy Bittner as a suspect in the disappearance of Nikki Campbell. They searched his home and were not able to find anything to arrest him. Timothy filed a defamation lawsuit against the city of Fairfield, and it settled out of court for $90,000, and the city admitted no fault whatsoever. He was reportedly violently shaking when the police searched his home. And in January of 1992, dogs tracked Nikki's scent to Angela Bougay's grave. The rain actually helps police dogs with the Contra County Sheriff's Department because moisture holds scent. When authorities moved the crime lab in front of the Campbell residence, officers found a pair of child-sized blue socks, and it is unknown if they belonged to Nikki. On January 14th of 1992, 500 cartons of milk with Nikki's face were distributed by Sunnyside Farms in Cordelia. A local businessman named Craig Wheelwright offered a $10,000 reward. In 2001, police received a tip that Nikki could be in a crawl space in a home located 1 block away from where she lived. Authorities obtained a search warrant, and the woman who owned the home in 1991, named Elizabeth Young, contended that Nikki was over at her house on the day before she went missing, asking to play with her nephews. The young boys had lived there for a period of time with their father, but had recently moved out. Elizabeth denies anyone in her household could be involved in Nikki's vanishing. She told reporters that she helped search for Nikki after she was reported missing, and this woman has since moved to Suisun City. In 2009, J.C. Dugard was found after being missing from Lake Tahoe in Antioch, California. The Fairfield Police Department obtained a search warrant to search the home of Philip and Nancy Garrido, and they were not able to find anything regarding the Amanda Nikki Campbell case. Curtis Dean Anderson was also looked into, and his mother's home was searched and nothing was found. David Mish, who was ultimately convicted to Michaela Garrett's murder, was ruled out because he was already in prison when Nikki was taken. The latest publicly shared lead on this case was in July of 2023, when Pennsylvania police arrested a man named David Zandra. He was working as a pastor in a church in Delaware County when he kidnapped 8-year-old Gretchen Harrington while she was on her way to Bible study on August 15, 1975. 2 months later, her body was found by an athletic runner in the woods, and the case was cold for more than 2 decades. Although he confessed to killing Gretchen at his trial in January of 2025, after a jury deliberated for an hour, he was acquitted and found not guilty for the murder of Gretchen Harrington. In 1990 through 2005, David Zanstra was a pastor at Christian Reformed Church in Fairfield, California. Authorities were not able to find any evidence to arrest him in connection to the Amanda Nikki Campbell case. If Nikki is still alive, she would be 37 today. Thank you for coming down the rabbit hole where I currently live. We reached the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed my take on the Amanda Nikki Campbell case. If you'd like a copy of my references or notes, have a case in mind you'd like me to cover, feel free to email yayareahousewife@gmail.com. I'll see you chismosas y chismosos in the next episode. Adios.